You are listening to a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.
Hello, welcome to Season 2, Episode 25 of Tiger Sports Page. I'm your host, Tristan Hobbs, sitting in for Angelina Lopez, who is under the weather. Tiger Sports Page is a weekly podcast and YouTube program dedicated to all things Lancaster ISD sports. Lancaster ISD, for those who don't know the geography, is in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex just south of Dallas. Lancaster High School, which is most of what we cover here on this podcast, is a member of the Texas University Interscholastic League and plays in the 6A division, which is the division with the largest schools and biggest populations. We cover all of that. Now, on today's program, we are joined by our head women's basketball coach, LaJeanna Howard. Hello, Coach. How are you today?
Hello, how are you? I'm doing well.
It's good. It's good to have you on our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Now it's time for us to get to our questions.
Alrighty.
That was a heck of a basketball season, wasn't it?
Yes, man, it was very enjoyable. We had some really high moments and a lot of energy and continuous fan support. And Lancaster, the city of Lancaster, was behind us all the way, and it was just an atmosphere that you had to be part of.
Yes, that's great. How did you do it?
Work, it's not how did I do it, it's how did we do it. I have a phenomenal staff of coaches who all work hand and foot to try to get these kids to the best of their ability. The young ladies, they put in blood, sweat, and tears, and some of that is actually true because, I'm sure that playing for me is not an easy task because I expect a lot of them, and they rose to the expectations.
Right. How did you take a lot of the same players, and do something that's never been done before in Lancaster women's basketball history?
I believe in culture. It's all about the culture of what you believe in as a leader. I'm a winner. I love winning. I love winning in life, not just on the basketball court. And so if you win every day and stack up those days, and then it leads to success. And what we did was we got in here and we won every day. We won the days when we were conditioning, when we were in the weight room, when we were training, when we were going through plays and sets, when we were deciding what type of defense we're going to run. We won each one of those things, and it led to a successful season.
Right. That's great. Now, I'm not asking you to give away any coaching secrets, but how did you get the buy-in from the athletes that you got this season?
It's relationship building in sports, in anything where there's a leader and they have to lead a group of people. You have to get those people to buy into what you're selling. And as a coach, they bought into me selling the fact that I was going to teach them how to win. And once they bought into that and we built relationships, took time with them, go to lunches, play some games together that are outside of basketball, and just spend some quality time with the kids, well, then it was easier for them to understand what I wanted on the court.
That is so excellent. Now, this is a little bit of a tough question, at least I think so.
Okay.
Where are your growth areas for next season?
We're going to continue to get better. Our basketball IQ needs to continue to grow. We had moments where in the last couple games where the atmosphere was so loud, I couldn't lead them through voice as much as I had done in the past. And so now it's going to be where I have the experience of kids who know what I want. And so those leaders, those senior leaders will already know what I expect without me having to say it. And so that is going to be huge because once you've played for somebody once, you know their expectations.
Right. Now, after you get your growth areas taken care of, how do you expect to take this team to the next step, probably state or even a championship?
I just think that what we're going to do is we're going to enhance our preseason. I have more time this off season to work on their individual skills. And once we get every individual, we'll move to the next level. It'll move our team as a whole to the next level, along with our program, because the lower levels matter. The freshman team, the JV team, they matter. A lot of people don't, pour into them, but I pour into my whole program because they are the future.
Right. Now, do you think this will be a easier task or a harder task to complete?
I just don't. I don't think any task is hard or easy. I think it's a task that you have to complete. I think my marking the check box, it's not. Is it can I do it or can I do it, or is it hard or easy? It's like just get to it. And so if you choose every day to get to the work, then it becomes easy on that end.
That's great. That's great. Now, thank you so much, Coach, for joining us today. Have I forgotten to ask you anything, or is there anything you would like to add?
I definitely want to thank all of those seniors that have been here in the Lady Tiger program. I appreciate what they gave the program, the hard work that they put in, the will to let me come in on their first year and coach them in their last year. That's not an easy task. I just appreciate the support of Lancaster community and the support of our administration and just everyone who bought into what we believed, we could do.
All right, that's great. Thank you for tuning in this week. Come back next week where we will be interviewing our track coaches. Those of you listening on your favorite podcast app, either Apple Podcast or iHeart or Spotify, please like and rate us, and that will allow us to appear higher in rankings and gain more listeners. If you are watching the YouTube feed, which comes out a little bit later than the audio feed, please like and subscribe and turn on the notifications so that way you will be notified every time we post a new video. Remember that Tiger Sports Page is a production of the Weibo Podcast Network and is produced with the cooperation of Lancaster ISD Department of Athletics and Lancaster ISD's Department of Communications. Thank you again for listening and watching. And I'm Tristan Hobbs sitting in for Angelina, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
This has been a production of the Weibo Podcast Network.